The sun sets over a sprawling mansion on the outskirts of the city. The Castello family, known for their immense wealth and powerful business empire, lives here. Leonardo Castello, the patriarch, is an imposing figure. He's built an empire from the ground up, and his pride and joy is his family business, Castello Enterprises. On the surface, everything seems perfect: wealth, power, and status. But behind this facade lies a web of family tension and deep-seated resentment. Leonardo is a man who commands respect and has high expectations for everyone, especially his son, Alessandro. Since Alessandro was a child, he's been groomed to take over the family business. To everyone around them, it seems like Alessandro is the perfect heir. But inside, Alessandro is struggling. He's a man torn between duty and his own desires. Alessandro's inner conflict: Alessandro is not like his father. While Leonardo is cold and calculating in business, Alessandro has a heart. He married for love, choosing Elena, a woman from a modest background who is the complete opposite of what his father wanted for him. Elena is kind, warm, and compassionate, qualities that Alessandro cherishes. But his marriage to her has always been a point of tension with his father. Leonardo doesn't approve of Elena. He sees her as a distraction, someone who doesn't belong in the ruthless world of business. For years, Alessandro has been caught between his love for his wife and his loyalty to his father. Every day, he feels the weight of expectation pressing down on him, pushing him to be more like his father and less like the man he truly is. Elena, on the other hand, senses Alessandro's turmoil. She tries to support him, but she knows that as long as Leonardo holds the reins of the family business, Alessandro will never truly be free. This quiet struggle between the family's expectations and personal happiness is at the heart of Alessandro's story. He loves his wife deeply, but he fears that in trying to please his father, he might lose her. Then there's Victor, Leonardo's younger brother. Victor has always lived in his brother's shadow, and it eats away at him every day. Years ago, Victor was in love with Sofia, a woman who eventually married another man. That man turned out to be Elena's father, which makes the tension even more personal for Victor. He blames Leonardo for everything that went wrong in his life: the failed love, the lack of recognition, and the fact that he's always been the second choice. Victor never says a word about his feelings. He smiles in front of his brother and pretends to be loyal, but deep inside, he's plotting his revenge. He's been waiting for the right moment to strike, to take everything away from Leonardo and prove that he's the one who deserves the power and respect. His hatred isn't just about business, it's about his deep-seated grudge, a mixture of personal heartbreak and jealousy. Meanwhile, Luca, Alessandro and Elena's son, is growing up in this tense household, but he doesn't share his family's obsession with business. Luca is bright, adventurous, and free-spirited. He's the hope for the future of the Castello family, but unlike his father, he's not interested in running the company. He sees the business world as cold and heartless, much like his grandfather. Instead, Luca's heart is drawn to Mariana, the daughter of Victor. Mariana is intelligent, strong-willed, and independent, everything that Luca admires in a person. But there's one big problem: their families are locked in a silent feud. The rivalry between Leonardo and Victor runs deep, even if most people don't see it. Luca knows that if his father and grandfather found out about his relationship with Mariana, it could tear the family apart. Luca and Mariana meet in secret, their love blooming in the shadows. They are both aware of the risks, but their connection is too strong to ignore. Every stolen moment they share is filled with passion and fear, knowing that the truth could destroy everything they hold dear. As the business pressures mount on Alessandro, and Victor's jealousy grows stronger, the family's foundation begins to shake. Leonardo's empire, built on power and control, is starting to show cracks. Behind every decision, every business deal, is a web of lies, betrayals, and hidden emotions. Leonardo grows impatient with Alessandro, constantly reminding him of the importance of the business and their family's reputation. Alessandro feels suffocated, unable to live up to his father's impossible expectations. He hides his frustration from his father, but the weight of the family's demands is pushing him to his breaking point. Meanwhile, Victor secretly aligns himself with the Castello family's business rivals. He quietly leaks valuable business information to hurt Alessandro's position, while maintaining the appearance of loyalty. His goal is to slowly erode Alessandro's credibility until the family turns to him for leadership. The seeds of betrayal are planted, and it's only a matter of time before they grow. The Castello family is standing on the edge of a cliff, and they don't even know it. Alessandro is struggling to keep his marriage intact and live up to his father's expectations. Victor is waiting in the shadows, ready to take everything from his brother. And Luca and Mariana are playing with fire, knowing their love could destroy both families if it comes to light. Castello mansion at dusk. Inside, the family is gathered for dinner, but the air is heavy with tension. Luca, the only son of Alessandro and Elena, sits quietly, his mind elsewhere. His heart races, thinking of Mariana, the girl he's fallen deeply in love with, who just happens to be the daughter of his father's greatest rival, Victor Castello, his uncle. Luca knows the dangers of this love. His father and Victor may share the same last name, but their relationship is filled with years of bitterness and jealousy. Yet, Luca cannot help how he feels about Mariana. She's the one who understands him, who gives him a sense of freedom and love that his family's cold business world can never offer. Every few nights, Luca sneaks out of the house and meets Mariana in a secluded part of the city. They meet at a small cafe, far away from the eyes of their families. It's here, in the soft glow of candlelight, that they feel truly alive. Every glance, every touch, is filled with a sense of danger, but also deep love. Mariana is just as conflicted as Luca. She loves him, but she knows her father, Victor, would be furious if he ever found out. To Victor, the Castello family is divided. He believes that Alessandro and Leonardo have stolen what should have been his: power, wealth, and respect. If he knew his daughter was involved with Luca, it would be the final straw. Mariana often looks into Luca's eyes, full of love but also fear. She can't help but ask, what will happen if they find out? Luca, holding her hand, always answers, I don't care. I love you. I'll fight for you. But deep down, even Luca is unsure of what he would do if his family ever discovered their secret. Luca returns home after each secret meeting with Mariana, burdened by the lies he must tell his family. Alessandro, already struggling under the pressure of the business, notices Luca's distant behavior and tries to reach out. You've been distracted lately, Luca. You need to focus on the family business, Alessandro says one evening, but Luca doesn't care about the family business. It's not his world. His father doesn't understand him, and every day, Luca feels like he's being pulled further away from the life his family wants for him. His heart belongs to Mariana, and he feels torn between the expectations of his family and the love he can't live without. Mariana feels the same way. At home, Victor constantly talks about his plans to take down Alessandro and reclaim what he believes is his rightful place in the family business. Mariana listens in silence, knowing that every word her father speaks is against the man she loves. She feels guilty, but she can't deny her love for Luca. Her heart aches, knowing that the truth could destroy not only their love but their families. As the weeks pass, Luca and Mariana's love grows stronger, but so does the tension in their families. Victor, sensing something off with his daughter, begins to question her. He notices that she's been spending more time out of the house, and his suspicions grow. He doesn't yet know the truth. But the more he probes, the closer he gets to uncover their secret. Meanwhile, Leonardo is growing impatient with Alessandro. The family business is facing challenges, and Alessandro is under pressure to prove he's capable of leading. Luca becomes a target of his grandfather's frustration. You need to be more like your father, Luca, Leonardo says one evening. Your place is in this family's legacy, not running around wasting your time. Luca's heart sinks. He feels trapped between his family's expectations and his desire to be with Mariana. The pressure builds inside him, but he knows he can't reveal the truth, not yet. If his father or grandfather knew about his love for Mariana, it would ruin everything. One night, Luca and Mariana meet at their usual spot in the city. But this time, something feels different. They talk about their future, wondering how long they can keep their relationship a secret. Mariana is more anxious than usual. Luca, we can't keep hiding forever. What if they find out? What if this love destroys everything? Luca takes her hand, trying to reassure her. We'll find a way, Mariana. We'll leave this city if we have to. We can start over somewhere far away. But Mariana knows it's not that simple. Their families are powerful and their lives are tied to the Castello name. Running away would be dangerous, but staying might be even worse. As they sit in a cafe, a shadow passes outside the window. Someone is watching them. Luca senses it but brushes it off, thinking it's just his imagination. However, what they don't know is that Victor has started to have his daughter followed. He's growing suspicious, and soon, the walls around their secret will begin to close in. The next day, Victor questions Mariana directly. You've been acting strange lately. Where have you been going? Who are you spending time with? His tone is sharp. And Mariana feels a wave of fear. She tries to deflect, but her father's eyes are piercing. He senses that something is wrong, and Mariana knows that if she doesn't find a way to protect her secret, Victor will discover everything. At the same time, Alessandro confronts Luca about his recent behavior. You've been distracted, Luca. I need you to focus. Our family is going through difficult times, and I need you by my side. But Luca can't focus. His heart is torn between loyalty to his family and his love for Mariana. The pressure from both families is building, and the lovers are running out of time. They know that soon, the truth will come out, and when it does, it could tear their families apart. But for Luca and Mariana, their love is worth the risk. They decide that no matter what happens, they will face it together. Victor has grown more suspicious of Mariana's behavior and sends someone to follow her the next time she leaves the house. Luca, unaware of this, meets her in secret again. They talk about their future, unaware that their secret is about to be exposed. The sun has set on the Castello estate, and a storm is brewing both outside and within the family. The tension between Alessandro and his father, Leonardo, has reached an all-time high as the family business faces increasing challenges. What Alessandro doesn't know is that his uncle, Victor, has been secretly working behind the scenes, orchestrating a betrayal that will shake the very foundations of the Castello empire. Victor, fueled by years of jealousy and resentment, is preparing to make his move. He's been leaking confidential information about the family business to its biggest competitors, sabotaging deals and making Alessandro look incompetent. His plan is to bring Alessandro to his knees, destroy his credibility, and claim the family empire for himself. Victor's final betrayal. Victor's plot comes to a head when he sets up the biggest betrayal yet. Castello Enterprises is about to close a major business deal that could save the company from financial ruin. This deal is everything to Alessandro, his chance to prove himself to his father and secure the future of the family business. But Victor has other plans. He secretly meets with the company's rival and leaks the details of the deal. The competitor swoops in and undercuts Castello Enterprises, stealing the contract right out from under them. When the news reaches Alessandro, he is devastated. It's the final blow in a series of failures that have made him look like a weak leader in his father's eyes. Alessandro confronts his father, Leonardo, who is furious. How could you let this happen? Leonardo shouts. You're destroying everything I built. Alessandro tries to explain, but he doesn't know that Victor is behind it all. To Alessandro, it seems like fate is working against him. But in the shadows, Victor watches with satisfaction, knowing he's close to achieving his goal. While the business world around them crumbles, Luca and Mariana continue to meet in secret, their love growing stronger despite the looming danger. However, their relationship is now on the verge of being exposed. Victor, suspicious of his daughter's behavior, finally uncovers the truth. He has his suspicions confirmed when his hired spy follows Mariana to one of her secret meetings with Luca. Enraged, Victor feels utterly betrayed by his own daughter. To him, this isn't just about love, this is about loyalty, and in his eyes, Mariana has chosen Luca over him. Victor confronts Mariana in a tense and emotional showdown. "How could you betray me like this?" he demands, his voice filled with both anger and hurt. Mariana, trembling but defiant, replies, "I love him, father. You can't control who I love." But Victor won't listen. His mind is made up. "You've picked the wrong side, Mariana," he says coldly. "If you stay with him, you are no daughter of mine." Mariana is heartbroken. She loves her father, but she knows she cannot give up Luca. The tension between Victor and Mariana is the beginning of a much larger explosion within the family. Victor, angry and humiliated by his daughter's relationship with Luca, decides to use this to his advantage. He goes directly to Leonardo and Alessandro with the truth, revealing the forbidden romance between their son and his daughter. When Alessandro and Leonardo find out about Luca and Mariana, it's a crushing blow. Leonardo is furious. To him, this relationship is not just a personal betrayal but a threat to the family's power and legacy. Alessandro, already under immense pressure from the business failures, is blindsided by the news. Leonardo confronts Luca in a fiery argument. "You've betrayed this family," he shouts. "How could you, knowing what Victor has done to us? You've fallen in love with the daughter of the man who is trying to destroy us." Luca, overwhelmed but defiant, stands his ground. "I love Mariana, and that's all that matters to me. I'm not going to let this family feud ruin my life." Alessandro, caught in the middle, tries to calm the situation, but he's also torn. His son has fallen in love with the daughter of the man who has been undermining him for years. Leonardo, unable to see past his pride and anger, demands that Luca end the relationship immediately. But Luca refuses, with the family now in turmoil over Luca and Mariana's relationship. Victor makes his final move. He leaks more critical information, completely sabotaging the company's finances. The business, once a symbol of power and control, is now on the verge of collapse. Alessandro is devastated. He feels the weight of failure, both as a leader of the family business and as a father. He's lost control of everything, his company, his father's trust, and now his son. In a climactic scene, Victor confronts Alessandro and Leonardo with cold triumph. "This is what you deserve," Victor says, his voice dripping with malice. "You took everything from me, my position in this family, my respect. Now I've taken it all back." Alessandro, realizing the full extent of his uncle's betrayal, is crushed. Leonardo, once so confident in his family's legacy, is left speechless. The betrayal has hit harder than they ever expected, and now they are standing at the edge of ruin. While the business collapses around them, Luca and Mariana face an impossible choice. With both of their families against them, they must decide whether to stay and fight for their love or leave everything behind. Luca knows that if he stays, he'll be forced to choose between his family and the woman he loves. But if they run away, they risk losing everything they've ever known. In a moment of deep emotion, Luca turns to Mariana. "We can't stay here, not like this. They'll never accept us, and I won't let them tear us apart. We have to go." Tears well up in Mariana's eyes as she nods. She knows leaving is the only option, but the thought of abandoning their families, despite everything, is painful. Together, they make the decision to run away and start a new life far from the chaos and betrayal that has consumed their families. As Luca and Mariana prepare to leave, the family feud reaches its boiling point. Victor, having successfully dismantled the business, now sets his sights on something even more personal, destroying Alessandro completely. Meanwhile, Alessandro, broken by the betrayal and his son's decision, is left to pick up the pieces of his shattered life. Luca and Mariana leave the city under the cover of darkness, knowing that their love is now all they have. But as they drive away, a sense of unease hangs in the air. The betrayal has torn their families apart, but the real fallout is yet to come. Castello Estate, a place once filled with power, wealth, and pride. The business is in ruins, the family torn apart by betrayal. Alessandro is a shadow of his former self, broken by the loss of his son Luca, the collapse of the family empire, and the humiliation brought on by his brother Victor. Meanwhile, Victor, having orchestrated the family's downfall, is savoring his victory. But despite his success, something gnaws at him. Buried deep in the past is a dark secret, one he has kept hidden for years. As the family feud deepens, this secret threatens to resurface, and its revelation could shatter the Castello family even more. Alessandro, struggling to salvage what's left of his life, begins digging through old family documents and records in a desperate attempt to find something that can save the business. He can't believe everything has crumbled so quickly. There has to be something he missed, some way to fight back. In his search, he comes across an old letter tucked away in the back of a drawer in his father Leonardo's office. It's yellowed with age, and the handwriting is familiar, but as he reads it, his heart begins to race. The letter reveals a shocking truth: Luca may not be his biological son. The letter is from Leonardo to Victor, written years ago. It suggests that Victor and Elena, Alessandro's wife, had an affair when they were young. Luca, who Alessandro has loved and raised as his own, might actually be the product of that affair. Alessandro can barely breathe as he processes the implications. The discovery sends Alessandro spiraling. The betrayal of Victor seems even deeper now. Not only has Victor sabotaged the business and driven Luca away, but he may also have been hiding this dark secret about Luca's true parentage for years. Desperate for answers, Alessandro confronts his wife Elena. The scene is emotionally charged as Alessandro, barely able to contain his anger and hurt, demands the truth. Is it true? Alessandro shouts, holding the letter up to her. Did you have an affair with Victor? Is Luca even my son? Elena, her face pale, is taken aback. She hesitates, tears welling up in her eyes. I was young, Alessandro. It was a mistake. I didn't know what I was doing. Alessandro's heart shatters. He feels betrayed by the woman he's loved for years. But it's the uncertainty about Luca that tears him apart the most. He can't bear the thought that the son he's raised, the son he's lost to Victor's schemes, may not even be his. Meanwhile, Victor is blissfully unaware that his darkest secret is on the verge of being exposed. Confident in his victory over Alessandro, he focuses on consolidating his newfound power and wealth. But when Alessandro shows up at his doorstep, his demeanor changes. In a furious confrontation, Alessandro presents the letter to Victor. I know the truth. You and Elena. You've betrayed me in ways I couldn't even imagine. Victor, ever the manipulator, doesn't deny the affair but smiles slyly. What difference does it make now, Alessandro? The family is mine. The business is gone. And Luca. Well, I guess you'll never know if he's really yours, will you? His words cut like a knife, but Alessandro is determined to find out the truth. Victor, sensing his brother's desperation, twists the knife further. Even if Luca isn't your son, you've already lost him to me. He's gone, Alessandro. You're alone. Alessandro, refusing to accept this cruel reality, decides to take matters into his own hands. He arranges for a DNA test to confirm Luca's parentage, but the process is excruciating. As he waits for the results, the suspense builds. Every day that passes feels like an eternity, and the uncertainty gnaws at him. He can barely look at old family photos without wondering if everything has been a lie. While Alessandro wrestles with this internal turmoil, Elena is consumed by guilt. She knows she made a mistake years ago, but she has always loved Alessandro and Luca. Now, she watches helplessly as her family falls apart, unsure if there's anything she can do to repair the damage. Just as the tension reaches its peak, Luca and Mariana unexpectedly return to the city. They've been living far away, trying to start a new life together, but Luca can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. He doesn't know about the letter or the DNA test, but he feels a pull to return home. When Luca arrives at the Castello mansion, he's greeted by the sight of his broken father. Alessandro is barely holding himself together. Torn between wanting to embrace his son and fearing that Luca may not even be his, there's a heartbreaking reunion between father and son, but Alessandro can't bring himself to tell Luca the truth just yet. Instead, he asks, "Why did you come back?" Luca, sensing his father's pain but not fully understanding it, replies, "I couldn't stay away. I had to know if things could ever be fixed." As the results of the DNA test arrive, the entire Castello family is on edge. Victor, sensing that his control over the family might be slipping, grows anxious. If the test reveals that Luca is indeed Alessandro's son, his plan to destroy his brother will fail. But if Luca is Victor's child, he knows it will deal a final, devastating blow to Alessandro. Elena, racked with guilt and fear, waits by Alessandro's side. She knows that no matter what the test says, their family will never be the same again. The results are finally revealed. Luca is, in fact, Alessandro's son. A wave of relief washes over Alessandro, but it's bittersweet. Though he now knows the truth, the damage has been done. His relationship with Elena is shattered, and Luca's love for Mariana still stands in the way of their family's unity. In a climactic confrontation, Alessandro finally faces Victor one last time. Armed with the truth, he tells his brother, "You may have tried to take everything from me, but you failed. Luca is my son. You'll never break this family." But Victor, always scheming, smiles darkly. "The business is still gone, Alessandro. And Luca? He's already chosen his path. You may have won this battle, but the war is far from over." The tension between the brothers reaches its breaking point, but before anything more can happen, Luca steps forward. He's tired of the lies, the manipulation, and the bitterness that has consumed their family. In an emotional outburst, he says, "I'm done with this. All of it. I'm leaving with Mariana. And I don't care about your feud anymore. I'm going to live my life, away from this madness." As Luca and Mariana walk away, leaving the Castello family to face the fallout of their own making. The dark secret has been revealed, but the scars it has left behind will take a lifetime to heal. The aftermath of the revelation about Luca's parentage has left the Castello family in a fragile state. The family empire is crumbling, and while the secret of Luca's true father has been revealed, he is indeed Alessandro's son, the damage to the family's unity is irreparable. Now, the story turns to a question of love versus legacy. Luca and Mariana, caught in the crossfire of their family's bitter feud, must decide whether to fight for their love or abandon everything they've ever known. Meanwhile, Alessandro faces the ultimate challenge. Can he rebuild his family's empire without losing the people he loves most? Luca and Mariana have fled the chaos of their families, determined to start a life together away from the toxic feud. They find temporary refuge in a small seaside town, where they try to live a peaceful life. But even in this idyllic place, the weight of their family's conflict follows them. Luca is torn. He loves Mariana deeply, but he feels the pull of his family legacy. As the heir to the Castello empire, he knows that walking away from his family means abandoning the responsibility he was born into. But staying means being trapped in a life filled with deceit, betrayal, and power struggles. One evening, as they sit together by the ocean, Luca turns to Mariana. "I don't know if I can leave it all behind," he admits. "The business, the family name. It's all I've ever known." Mariana, holding his hand, looks at him with tearful eyes. "I know it's hard. But all I want is to be with you, Luca. We can build our own life, free from all the lies. But you have to choose. Do you want the legacy? Or do you want us?" Luca's heart is torn. He knows Mariana is right, but letting go of the Castello name feels like abandoning a part of himself. Back at the Castello mansion, Alessandro is struggling with his own demons. The family business is on the brink of collapse, and he is haunted by the knowledge that Victor, his own brother, was behind the destruction. But more than anything, Alessandro is consumed by the thought that he has lost his son Luca forever. One night, Elena comes to him, her voice soft but filled with guilt. "Alessandro, you have to talk to Luca. He needs to hear that you love him, no matter what." But Alessandro is bitter. "How can I face him now? I've failed as a father. I've failed in everything." His eyes, once sharp and full of ambition, are now filled with sorrow. Elena takes his hand. "You haven't failed, not completely. Luca needs you. He may think he's choosing love over the family, but deep down, he's still your son. If you don't fight for him now, you'll lose him forever." Alessandro knows she's right, but he's too proud to admit it. Still, the thought of losing his son, his only heir, gnaws at him. He realizes that if he doesn't act soon, he may not only lose Luca but also the future of the Castello legacy. Meanwhile, Victor is not done. Despite his initial victory in ruining the family business, he is still obsessed with power and control. He knows that if he can drive a permanent wedge between Luca and Alessandro, he can claim the family's fortune for himself. Victor reaches out to Luca in secret, offering him a twisted deal. "If you leave Mariana," Victor tells him, "I'll give you control of the Castello empire. You can have everything, wealth, power, and the family name. But if you stay with her, you'll lose everything." Luca is stunned by his uncle's offer. The weight of the decision presses on him. Can he really sacrifice his love for Mariana for the sake of his family's legacy? With the tension at its peak, Luca, Mariana, Alessandro, and Victor are all on a collision course. The story builds towards a dramatic confrontation at the Castello mansion. Luca returns to the mansion to confront his father and uncle. The scene is thick with emotion as Luca, with Mariana by his side, faces the two men who have shaped his life. "I'm tired of all the lies, all the manipulation," Luca says, his voice strong but filled with emotion. "I love Mariana, and I won't let this family tear us apart." Alessandro, standing across from him, is filled with conflicting emotions. He loves his son, but he knows that staying with Mariana could mean the end of the Castello legacy. Still, for the first time in his life, Alessandro realizes that his family's happiness might be more important than the empire he's spent his whole life protecting. "I've made so many mistakes, Luca," Alessandro admits. "But I don't want to lose you. If Mariana is the one you love, I won't stand in your way." The tension in the room eases slightly, but Victor isn't ready to give up. "You're making a mistake, Alessandro," he sneers. "Luca is throwing away the family's future for a woman. If you let this happen, the Castello name will die with you." But Alessandro, for the first time, stands up to his brother. "I'd rather lose the empire than lose my son," he says firmly. Luca, moved by his father's words, finally makes his decision. He turns to Victor and says, "You've used this family for your own gain for too long. I don't care about the money or the power. I choose love. I choose Mariana." Victor's face twists with anger, realizing that his plan has failed. He storms out of the mansion, leaving the family to pick up the pieces of what he's broken. With Victor gone, Luca and Alessandro stand together, a father and son reunited. While the Castello empire may never return to its former glory, they know that they've gained something far more important: family and love. The final scene shows Luca and Mariana standing on the cliffs by the sea, looking out at the horizon. They know that the road ahead won't be easy, but they're ready to face it together. Luca, now free from the weight of his family's legacy, is finally able to live the life he chooses. The story ends with a powerful message: love is worth more than any legacy, and in the end, it's the relationships we build that truly define our lives. The sun rises over the Castello mansion, bathing the once grand estate in a soft, golden light. Inside, there is an air of quiet reflection, but also hope. The story of the Castello family has been one of power, betrayal, and loss. But now, with the weight of the family's dark past behind them, They stand on the brink of a new chapter, one defined by love, healing, and renewal.
Please like this video and subscribe the channel and click on bell icon.